up guys, it's Mungai Eve. Welcome to the Mungai Eve show, and of course you're the #1 online TV show. But hey guys, thank you so much for the love and support mmekuwa mkinipatia. I'm really humbled. Naona tunaelekea 300k subscribers. I don't take it for granted. Leo niko na mgeni hapa, atatuelezea anaitwa nani. He has gone through a lot in this life. Amepitia sana since akiwa hata before azaliwe, cause kidogo mamake kuna venye alikuwa anataka atatuelezea, lakini kuna venye mamake hakuwa anataka hiyo maneno ya kumleta hii dunia, but atatuelezea. At least right now he's all grown. Na I'm sure this story is going to touch someone. Anyway, kwaje?
Niko poa sana.
Tunakuita nani?
Anto Perez, humanitarian. That is in my internet Twitter channels. Yeah.
Okay, Anto, talking about your story, unajua nimekuwa nikiwaambia kwa introduction venye umepitia a lot. Ebu take us through.
Yeah, my name, as I say, I'm Wajiro Anthony Perez, or Anthony Perez Humanitarian, if you are looking for me in my channels. I don't know where to start because just it's a long story, but I'll try to cut it short so that I can encourage someone perhaps who is going through the same thing for now. I came to know who I am through in my step grandmother's place. That was in Murang'a County. I won't say a specific place because
Watu wa Murang'a.
yeah, I won't say specific place because we are here to encourage someone, but not to expose anyone. Sure. And when what was happening by that time, there was a hostel life. And a very, very, very hostile life that is beaten, and a very severe beating. Another time I started asking who I am. You know, no one knows who you are when you're young. And it is till you start asking, or you start seeing something that is awkward happening, that is the time you start asking who you are. And this is the time that now I start asking my step-grandmother, who am I, who child am I? And that is where now I got my story from where I came from.
Oh, so in short, grow, you didn't have parents.
I didn't have parents. I was in my younger years, my toddler years, I was in my step grandmother's place. And now, when, for example, mostly what made me complete to ask who I am is like one day I asked for second plate of food. You know,
kuongezewa chakula.
Food. And now, when I asked for a second plate, my step-grandmother told me, go and engrave your mother and eat her. That thing really traumatized me.
And I know when it's said in mother tongue, it's very bad.
If I say it in mother, it's only that no one ever can. Perhaps few can understand this. Yeah. And now that is when I started asking who I am, and now I was told. Through my brother who was older, and through now that step-grandmother was so hostile to me, because not a real grandmother, is another woman who was married after my grandmother passed away. I was told my mother was a commercial worker, sex commercial worker, and she was a drunkard, completely a drunkard. And when she got pregnant, or with my pregnancy, somehow at least she started changing her mind of not giving birth to me, and she tried abortion. That brought complication, you know. Late pregnancy always bring repercussion. That is how she died. I was saved.
Wow. So you're the one who survived.
Yeah,
she passed.
Yeah, my life is death of my mother, which is a good and a bad luck at the same time. Because I don't judge her. I know, because when I followed that story too, she was having, because she had run away and she was still young. She had a teenage pregnancy, and she was trying to look for it to survive until she got it so hard that she entered to drinking spree. Now from there, if I tell you now the kind of life I grew there in my step-grandma place is looking like a Niger movie. Because
before even we come to how you grew up, I would love to know who disclosed the information that your mom passed. She was a commercial sex worker. Who disclosed the information to you?
There was two ways. One, through this let me call her woman a step grandmother. Through this step grandmother, she used to say it direct and severe beating. If you look here well, completely, even here camera can see it so well. You see there is a mark, a scar, and this been pulled on the door. There's the thing where you close the padlock, and ikakatalia huko yani unakatalia huko unavurutwa hivi, and at that time it's God that I didn't even go mad by that time. Through her, she could tell me every, that is a very traumatized thing to tell a child, that you are a child of a prostitute. And now the worst thing is this: she could insult me this way, like, you don't belong to us because your mother was a prostitute and you are a child of a bukusu, a lawyer. You will eat us. You see that trauma? Your mother is a prostitute. Secondly, you are a child of a kusu and you'll eat them. I remember there's a time I went to school and I was looking at this canine and I was thinking, how, that this child thought that perhaps I've been told that I'll eat them one day. It's true. Perhaps I have not gone that time of eating. Yani, I don't know if you are getting what I'm trying to say. That you will eat us. We've been called a man eater. And me, I'm a child. My thinking is that perhaps it will come a time, an age, I'll start eating people. And I could not stop fearing myself. I could ask even my class 2, class 1, class 2, I could ask my pupils, do I look like I can eat people? Because I could look canine of dogs like that. It was so traumatizing. And, through that way, that's we are beating. That method road. If you can, the uptown live, where you blow the fire. You seen the method road. Not uptown, up country. Yeah, that method being caned naked. Head and even the severe thing was happening to my older brother who was there because he could be pulled over the wall and I could see him bleeding every time. And I could see things that I have never, things even I can't expose. Let me say frankly, the person who I was taken to take care of me when I was young, I've never seen someone with that animal spirit, animal heart till today.
Okay, and the reason she was beating you too harshly was because of what?
Okay, I will come to think about. I will remind me as I come to finish because when she was married, there, I think she didn't get children. I think she was having that kind of a depression. I don't know, but I came to know it later because now I will say I am doing psychology. Now I know because it affected me. That growing up affected me. Because, for example, I remember once my little uncle, together in collaboration with my grandmother, chasing me from the house. That I am not supposed to sleep in the same bed or in the same house with them because I might eat them at night. And I slept outside. Sleeping outside was my norm when I was young. In team plantation with my brother. Remember one day I was...
Plantation is usually very cold.
I used to sleep. I remember I used to sleep. I could even hear dogs at night. And people who knows me, they know that story when we were young. Sleeping outside was norm. When I was young, class 1, class 2. That is where I started my relationship with God. Because when you are sleeping at tea plantation at night, you hear animals passing, you hear dog passing. And now I start whispering. I didn't have any clue about even God. But I started now, every time I could hear anything coming, I could tell God, oh God, help me not to be eaten at night. And that is how my relationship, in a way, I call it in a miraculous way, I started creating relationship with God unknowingly. I remember once when I was chased away because I wanted to commit suicide when I was young. I could feel I want completely to commit suicide.
Yeah, at which age?
That one I remember I was class 5 and I could feel everything is off the gap because I could see, because one, beating. No one, and this person is beating you. Don't cry, don't scream, and you are naked. And you are beaten with a method, even with your hand. Okay, you can say you have done nothing because a child you can do. Like for example, you can ungulisha chakula. Those small mistake. But now someone is beating you completely like you are dying, like completely like a dog. Let me call it like that. Completely like a dog. My brother at least still ran away when he was in class 3 and he started becoming Shaba boy. But me, I had that desire of education. Cutting long story short, how I was young, within some few years, I ran away from that place and I located to children's home because, like for example, when I passed in class 8, it became because I got 346 and I passed well. I was the first boy and I was called in a very good extra county school, that's Kiagoto Boys, and my because I got born again, and in a way the family is not deep in things to do with church and what have you. Now my grandfather was not happy with my inclination or my direction toward God, and I remember. He told me, we remember in the past, he told me he can't take me anywhere to a boarding school because I go and tell Jesus to pay for me the school fees. And when I was told to go and tell Jesus to pay for me school fees, do you know I did my own small harabe, people who know me. I called people, imagine a class 8 kid going around calling people for a fundraising. It was a still traumatizing moment because, and you know, this thing it will bring a lot of issues later. If a person in a young life, you grew up in that traumatized moment, you know, because I remember my older brother was smoking bangi as young as class 1. I could see them smoking bangi.
You can even develop some bitterness.
Yeah, not even a bitterness, revenge, and you feel, you know, even seeing. Let me say, me, what I saw is like, it was like a total hell. I saw it in a way through that growing up, but well. When my grandfather told me that not he can take me to a high school and I look for a day school, God came through because I tried to mobilize people to pay for me, and which God did something good because church contributed as a small amount, and an individual, which I won't mention by name, gave like 30,000, and I was there. I was secure. Do you know? I felt like God has saved me from let me call it an Al Shabaab territory to a good place. And from there, I went to a boarding school. And there I said I would never want to look back there again. I don't want that because by that time I had started developing PTSD, that post-traumatic stress disorder. I could feel I'm not well in my mind. I could feel my mind is not that straight. I could feel I have anxiety, I'm nervous, my self-esteem is down. I could feel all things. And me knowing God in class 8, because I got born again in class 8, through because I had gotten sick, I was like paralyzing on my one side of the body.
Because of the beating?
Yeah, those stress, beating and everything, I was completely paralyzing my one side of the body. And I then got faith works because me, I don't know Pius Moiro, but I had Pius Moiro preaching through the radio. I've never seen him. I've never even gone close to him. But that is how I got born again, through radio.
I know that.
Yeah, in those days, when they used to go to KBC.
Imagine not those days.
Yeah.
Imagine even right now. You know, my mom listens a lot to radios. Nasikianga after every preaching. Wakisema, if you would love to get born again, wanaombea mtu. Yeah, it happened.
Okay, that's how I got, and I say that was my talent because through that is how I became a leader of the the teen in church. That's how they contribute for me. I went around the school itself, the primary school teachers contributed something for me. You know, a good name, we say, is a better good name. I don't know than what. When you panania panajia. If there is a will, there is a way.
Okay, and Anto, when you are going through all this, did you regret coming to this world? Kwa sababu ushasikia mamako alitry kutoa mimba, alitry kukutoa wewe, then umekuja kwa exposed to a very very bad environment. Back in the days, what was ringing into your mind?
I don't want even to cry. I don't want even to shed tears about because. When you have asked me that question, I remember there's a time I slept in my mother's grave. Hapo juu. And that time I had not eaten. I am seeing a lot of things even I can say. My brother, my older brother is smoking, banging.
It's like you're alone in this world.
Yeah, you
And
get
you're
the
very
point.
young.
And every day I could ask God, God, why made you hard? Even I could even ask because I could even hate. But by the I was hating anyone who is a man because I could see how my brothers are doing. I could feel total hatred. You know, the hatred from the heart. I could feel I hate them because I could see things I have never thought people can do when they are young. I could be exposed to anything starting with physical, sexual, psychological. I was exposed to everything. And I was regretting. I could every day cry, why did mama have to go? By that time, I was young, I could not understand a lot of things. Why mama have you to go? Kwani hata hukuza kasichana kamoja? Because I could think like being a guy, I could see girls, come now. Even in high school, in primary school, if you go to the details of my high school, you can be told I used to stay the law of the girls, only a guy. I used to pray the girl, and this have disadvantage later in life. They have disadvantage because it can orient you to a different path of sexuality. But well, God is good. He snatched me, and let me say, a seed of God. Let me call it that way, because nothing else. Because, for example, you see, my brother was so sharp. He used to become number one and run away in class 3.
Because of the hostility in
The beating. Do you know there's a time he was beaten, akuwa uchi amefungwa kila mahali na kwa uchi. He was bleeded until he vomited blood. It was hell on earth.
Okay, and all this time, where was the grandfather?
The funniest thing, even though let's start with grandfather. Grandfather was in Nairobi by that time. I don't want to go deeper because I love my grandfather so much, regardless of everything. I love him so much. I don't want to go deeper to mention anything about him. But he was in Nairobi, and I don't know how, but he was somehow blinded in those things. He was not seeing them. He could come, and when he came, we were told the things we to say. Like, for example, I remember how when nini ongesha hii nini ya mlango, this what we call it, there's this thing where you close the padlock. The old days there's this thing we used to lock the padlock that looked like kakibati hivi. Kabati, yeah. When it entered here, I remember I was even chased in primary school because I was in class 3. I was told, no, you can, and it was with it without even being taken to hospital. I was still by my teacher told me, go to hospital because it was so bad. And now when the grandfather came, I was told to say that niligongwa na mawe. Nilirushiwa mawe, you see. But now another thing was villagers. Me, I was even hating my villagers because I could see all these things are happening when villagers are watching us and are looking at us. But I think if you have come from that time where a child was a community child now, and nowadays people concentrate with their own nuclear family, which that is a danger because children are suffering, are molested, are sexually harassed. In our, unakuja kusema, and the child was just because no one want to. If you see a change of a behavior, a walking behavior change, a stressed behavior change to a child, it's good to us even if it's not your child. Are you okay? Uko aje? Mami ako aje? Shushu ako aje? Just as how that child is dying. Because there's many times I tried to commit suicide when I was young, and that woman could give me milk. Because of taking a lot of those medicines that are left at home, you take all of them because you want to die. Okay, now I'm in secondary school, and I've decided I will never go back there. Kiagodo boys, the school. Yeah, and in Kiagodo boys now here I am. Do you know I used to be left at school when people was going home? Form 4 wanachangwa ati machopi, and I'm informed one is to pretend because I don't want to express to anyone the thing that I don't want to go back there because I went there once and I was not even given fare. The fees of it, there's no shopping. I remember once I took my school fees received to there. I would say there. And when I gave it out, I was told go and pick your things. You come, we look for a day school for you. And I remember I told God, you took me there for a reason. And when I went there, my principal by that time.
When you went to high school?
Yeah. Now I'm in Form 2. I had gone there for once because I used to be left at school when people are going at home. All I speak to a student, my fellow student, I'll be students, students are good. And now, when I was told no to pick my things up to go,
Who told you?
my godfather, I don't want to mention him so much because I understood him in one way or the other because I don't know why he was applied in all these things. Yeah, I don't know.
So he preferred utoke pale uende a day school, so at least they could, maybe he thought it was a easier way for you. And how did you survive in high school?
Yeah, in high school, like I've told you, I went back and I was having a very huge balance. There was a wicked charge. It's God somehow after, because a principal called me, told me you have a huge balance and you need to go. That's what he told me, a very painful words, because he told me you are like Jagatha, this thing of goat. The goat, the one that's not in the meat, is not in the skin. There's something that goats do or normally have these male goats. And so you're like Jagatha, you're not performing because I was stressed, so stressed. It's good. No one is coming to visit you. No, you are seeing parent day, everyone coming. No one is asking about your performance. You don't have shopping. You don't have pocket money. Damn. And I remember.
And by then you're not sharing what's going on.
Yes, you are not sharing. You are fearing because you don't, stigma in teens if you share what you are going on. Mungai, it was just a fun. It was just a fun way to survive. Imagine you don't have anything, you don't have even tissue in high school, and you don't want to go there because you don't know if you get out of school, you'll be around in the gate. Because I used to use that strategy, not going home, because I know if I get out, I don't even come in. Because even by that time, one thing what I did when I joined the school, I entered to school to the CU. Now I became so popular in school. Now even if you are given a list of going home, I could speak with the teacher and the deputy principal, and they pardon me. They tell me just stay. And now when a principal was changed because the principal was there in Form 1 was transferred. Now the one who came said, "You are not performing. You are getting this here." And your balance is huge. Can you go and camp in a children's in a CDF office because you are like that Jagatha? You are not in the meat, you are not in the skin. I remember by my CU patron by that time, Mr. Gure, because he is a principal, encouraged me, told me, leave your bag, because I was told to go and pick my mattress and box. And I came with them and told them, don't go with them, leave them here. I'll keep them. I'll keep them for you in staff room. Go to DEO office. And to DEO, I was given a letter by DEO, and I came, Madam Machari, I remember that name of that lady. And I came back, and when I came back, God is good because I met a wicked child. I don't know how, many I'm saying miraculously again. A guy approached me from a wicked child. He told me, you seem to be so, bitter. You seem to be in pain, grieving, like you are grieving inside you. And by that time, that is the time that I said, first time, I said my story to that guy. And when I said my story to that guy, he said, I won't pay for you because you're a performer or anything. I'll pay for you because once you know God. As my school fees was paid, all the way to Form 4. I didn't perform well. In Form 4, now my time of hibernating in school has come to an end. And now I have finished school. I didn't get a good grade. I got a C minus.
Tried with all those stress. Hey.
Yeah, I tried of that 9 point. Do you know, because I was housed by someone, now I had looked for someone to house me in Nairobi, Jericho area. I won't say them. Now, when the moment of waiting for exam was good because they were okay with me, they thought I would pass. But after the result...
The parents, the grandparents.
No. I looked for a friend in school. I spoke with a friend, and now he allowed me to come to their place. Yeah, the mother allowed me to come to their place here in Jericho. Yeah, and you remember by this time when I was in Form 1 there, in between Form 1 to Form 4, I had came to Nairobi through another friend of mine. But by this time, when I came with this friend of mine in Nairobi, they came tired of me because you can't become a visitor for a whole holiday. Kwa hivyo I went to a children's home called the Bedside. Kwa hivyo I had known another place I can be run into. There I ran there, and some moment before I knew Bedside, I had slept outside around Githurai. I became a street kid for almost a whole holiday term. I used to sleep in the vibada. Now, here I am. At least I've been given by someone a place I can stay here in Jericho. But now exam is out.
And you didn't perform with the SBA.
Yeah, and the son has passed well, very well. And now me here, I can't work because when I was young, I told you I was beaten by mental until I developed a back problem that even I used to go to clinic for, but there was a pus in my back. I decided to go. Now the partner I was telling you, who they encouraged me, looked for me another school. I went there. I tried to speak with the principal more than 100 times, and I thank God after long trying to speak with that principal, allowed me to go back to Form 3 there again because
You
it was
explained your story for the first time.
yeah, for the second time. The first time was in school. Through that we catch this second time, and now he allowed me to be in school without. I entered there with nothing. That Mr. Kimani principal Naigekiro Boys High School, and I thank God. Through there, I performed a B minus. B minus, you can go to government. We call it what?
Yeah, by then. Nowadays it's C plus.
Nowadays, but even in C plus, you can go to an undergraduate degree. But there's a joint admission board, and we call it what? There's a way that of calling the government student. I couldn't go with a B minus. I went back again to Form 4 to Jobe High School.
Hey, for the third time.
For that time. And that time I didn't perform anything because the B minus, even by it stagnated there again. That I trusted God. I went. By that time when I was in Kagema, now those 2 years, someone had had me and told me to come and to stay their place. The mother decided to stay in their place. In short, I stayed there for quite some time, like a year or two, and that is where we got to know each other with my babes by that time.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you didn't go back to school again? You just kept your B minus?
Yeah, now from after Jombe, I didn't go to high school again. By now, I started out working with what do you call it? Small casual work, at Githurai market, kubeba mizigo za watu na pelekea hapo 30 bob, 20 bob, and at least by that time I was housed by the place I was told you. There's a boy who had my story. Told me kuja ukae kwetu Gedho for a moment, for a year or two, and I started now writing letters because JKUAT gave me a letter of admission. Nairobi University gave me a letter of admission, but through parallel program. I couldn't afford that. But now I started now giving letters. Hapo TRM hapo hivyo kwa traffic hapo. That I used to give those people letters. My letters. I have that letter of Nairobi University. If someone can help me out to go to school. Every day, I walked in town until one day everything came to a standstill. I could see no hope, nothing. The time to go to JKUAT expired. Nairobi University expired. Now when I was still passing the small card looking for help, a lady had my story there. She called Mama Njeri Githurai Market. And I was anga marenge, pumpkins. And now she told me, why don't you go to Daystar and try to speak with them? And that is how I didn't even know Daystar where it is. I went to Daystar University. I explained my case to a soldier because I didn't know even he's a soldier. I explained to my host. Soldier was like, and apale. I was like, what? I explained to a receptionist. By that, they gave me a letter to apply. Cutting long story short, Daystar started now. I was told you can apply, you can start doing your classes as we look the way forward. And that is how I entered to Daystar. And I thank God because I did the first semester, second with balances. I got to the registrar office. They dropped the whole semester again. I start afresh again so that because I don't want to pile, but I want to be in school to the system. I'm trying to push. But through that, God start now open door because I start now meeting people like in Ebru TV, the lady in Ebru TV. My stories was started through different channels.
And you had a chance now to finish the...
Yeah, and I had a chance now to finish.
What did you study there at Daystar?
I'm doing psychology and communication.
Oh, you haven't finished yet.
Yeah, I'm in my final semester now. I'm supposed to be registering by some few weeks to come. But you see, it's still a long process because I've been there for quite some time. Because someone hear my story, come in for me. Perhaps you pay one semester, disappear, like that, like that. But thank God, people who have come through for me, because there are people, Kenyans, who have come through for me. Some here, some outside. But through these, I'm through what I passed through. I remember like when I was in my second year, when I was coming from school, I met someone roundabout, Githurai roundabout. I could see this person I know, but now I'm a tan, quite dark, because my brother was so brown. Now I'm a tan, quite so dark. And I was, who is this? Who is having even dreads now? By now, by that time, nilikuwa na achana ya kuwa. And I could see he's not coherent with what he's speaking. And you know what? When I spoke to him, I could see he is having mild disturbance by that time. Kwa hivyo, I don't know what had happened by that time.
And he was your brother?
My brother now is like how you call by a layman word a mad person. But he was having mental disturbances. Now, I could ask him, Benson, what is happening? I saw you, we were with you and you were speaking so, and I was telling God, praying day and night, God help me to make it through so that I can help him, because the guy alikuwa kutoka class 3, imagine mtu akuwa shaba boy. Now all these places and the back was so black because of carrying that tea leaves thing and doing all those hard jobs. And now he's mentally disturbed again. I tried now, because I was staying in someone's place. I was, God, what will I do? Because I can't take him, because even where I'm staying is not my place. It's not my place. I'm being housed. I don't want to be chased away. I've been passing so many houses. People get tired of you. If for example, the more you are growing, the more they get tired. People housing. In short, someone taking you and taking. I didn't know by that time, from the time I was young, I was yearning for a parental love. Someone who can guide me in a parental way. Do you know that is the biggest gift ever you can get in the world? A parental love. Now, by the God grace, there was nobody in that house. Kwa hivyo nilienda huko, akaoga. Kwanza anaingia kama nimemficha. He bathed, I took him to kinyozi, akanyolewa. Nikamwibia trousers za kijana wa huko kwa hiyo nyumba. I stole some few trousers for the guy of that house, because I didn't have any other option. I looked for a shaba boy work for him again here around there, but because he was disturbed, he couldn't stay there. Now he came again in the place I was staying, and now I had to tell him, please, we're gonna suffer, both of us.
We're going to make
to be chased away, because here there is a girl, and you have just told you she's now my babe. There is a girl here, and now you are coming here. To be fearful. And I took him to where my mother had come from, my step-grandmother's place, my grandfather's place. And I remember I told them, if you're gonna die, I will believe, even me, I don't have a place. I can call, not because I know my mother's place is not my place, because that is not in a how Kikuyu tradition they do. Yes, I don't know my father. I don't know, even if by then my father is hearing me, I can want to see him so much, because I didn't know my father. It's only that I was told he was a Bukusu. He used to work at barracks, Nakuru, at Nakuru barracks for soldiers. The soldier place at barracks was called George. He was having another wife with a daughter. I don't know. I wish I can, because I am told I look completely like him, because I don't look like my mother. I wish I can meet him, George from Erigeo. I've never seen him, but I miss him. Now, when I took him there, I was called after a month or two that he has committed suicide. I remember before he committed suicide, I had gone there. And when I went there, I saw where he was sleeping on a tiba. I was crying, because I could see a child without a mother don't have a way out, most likely. I went for the burial. And let me tell you, if there's a trauma has ever caught me, is that one. Because when I went for the burial, I heard many things. He didn't commit suicide. He was complaining that he was given food. Then he died. He died. That's how I lost my brother.
And you've been two of you. You didn't have any other sibling.
There's another one. But now the funniest thing is that we used to be insulted that we come from different father, which we are from different father, because I have told you how my mother used to operate by that time. Kwa hivyo, he was struggling his way out too. Came to know that he was struggling his way out.
Okay, and Anto, I would love to know as we continue, umesamehea, have you forgiven your step grandmom? Unajua, she took a very huge part ya wewe grow up when you grow. Maybe alikukosea sana. I don't know whether she's still alive. I don't know, but I would love to know, have you forgiven her?
Yeah, before I say forgiving her, I want to say there are some few things that has happened in my life that has shaped me who I am today, and perhaps have saved me. Because of the suffering I've seen growing up, and I could die, by the way, is by God's grace. There's one thing that I started doing. When I left high school, I started doing the charity work. I started having group, going to children's home. And by that time, didn't have money. I'm mobilizing my fellow teenagers. We are going to children's home. We have gone more than 30 children's home, taking stuff. But now I'm mobilizing, I don't have money. That thing started now making me meet other young people who are passing the same thing as same suffering. And with that now, I start now having healing. Even when my brother died, I became stressed, complaining, and depressed. To a point that when I enrolled in Daystar, I was doing communication, but I had to change because I was even admitted in hospital. Because I became so depressed to a point that even it affected, I got ulcers because of my brother. I didn't know by the time even, because I don't think I grieved well. Now that PTSD followed me. Now I had to change from communication to go and do psychology as my major, and my minor now, my minor is communication. Now, by now, starting now hearing, going to children's home and hearing, are we okay? Yeah, by me going to children's homes, and now meeting other vulnerable children who are passing the same thing, I started now consoling myself, even if I had to go for a therapy for me to be healed. Now, through that, I started but there's a time I had hatred completely to a point that I could even feel if she dies is a good thing to me. Because I could feel no human being supposed to live in that way, making people suffer that much. Even my brother died having that start. But by the time even I got born again, Christianity teaches about norms of forgiving, and if you want to go far, you have to forgive. I had, even if it was so painful, mostly by then because that wound was like widened by the death of my brother. I was feeling like I can't forgive, but through now doing charity work, I am forgiving slowly by slowly, and I think I'm healed. I'm on the process of healing. I'm not completely healed. I'm in the process of healing.
Okay. Yeah. And yeye bado yuko.
She's there.
She's there. Have you ever heard from her?
The funniest thing about my heart, sometimes I do miss her. Sometimes I do visit her.
What does she tell you, akikuona?
As I told you, when I went to psychology, I realized she had been having this a psychological problem, but now no one could realize because of, I think, not getting children. Now I try to console myself through that way. That is the only thing, because, for example, she used to kill a sheep. Now she could tell you are the one who have done that, and you have to agree because of the beating you're gonna be given. You You see that kind of that is
Crazy.
that's crazy, you know. Like you know that's Mama G things you used to see in a Niger movie. I could see those nowadays. Like she is the one even 10 times than that. You see, but of importance. Oh, okay, yeah, I've finished because I wanted to say what has made me to be now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's. I think you have a very big heart. If you can actually visit her, say hi to her, that's a nice thing. You know, the Bible always teach us to forgive. You can forgive as many times as possible. That's nice of you. And would love to know, what about right now? What are you doing currently apart from school?
Yeah, right now I've told you I'm in 4th year. God is great, and I hope God gonna continue bringing people with the same mind so that I can finish the school. It's people of good heart too. Right now I'm in my 4th year. I'm heading to. I can't calm myself. I can't calm. I'm so happy indeed, so excited because in my final semester I've been a struggle for 5 years, almost 6 years. A very struggle, and I'm happy. Then let me say, Mungai, I'm really
You
happy.
also have a YouTube channel. Would love
Yeah.
to know what you do there.
Yeah. Now the things I'm doing now. For example, right now you see, like this car, we have met you when I'm operating in Uber. Unachukua, sometimes you take a car from N1 or you can speak to N1. You start, I operate Uber business.
Yeah.
And this Uber business, what I do is that I take, this is me. I take, if I get 1,000, even if I'm gonna give the partner or I'm gonna give anyone something, I make sure that 50% of 500 I take to children. So because I have a group called Care Foundation, and this Care, what we do, I do in my page, my Facebook page called Anto Perez, and my YouTube channel called Anto Perez Humanitarian. Both of them, Anto Perez Humanitarian, my Facebook page, and Anto Perez Humanitarian, my YouTube channel, and my email perezbendo@gmail.com. What I do, if I hear a case of a vulnerable child, I know what does it mean to sleep with hunger. I know what does it mean to not to have a roof. I know how does it mean to be an orphan. I know how does it mean to be harassed when molested, completely molested when you're young. I highlight their case. I don't have a viewership. By the way, see, I don't have a viewership. I do the smallest way I do. Sometimes I write on my Facebook page, if, for example, a child, for example, I give you a case, not even one. I take a story. If, for example, there's a case of a boy in Nyagatogo Boys High School. It was inboxed in me by the teacher from where I was. I was told, we know you are struggling. You are depending on people and people to help you for you to finish the school. But we have a case here, and I said, I don't know what I can do with that case. I have nothing I can do. But they told me, just post on your Facebook. When I posted, a lady from Sweden sponsor that child, completed form. That is a great thing. And then we had there's another case of a child who a parent, but the parent is mentally disturbed. They wanted to marry the child in class 5 in Muranga, Mujini Islam. I highlighted that. I got my Facebook page in Anto Perez on my YouTube, Anto Perez Humanitarian. When I highlighted that case, a guy from US sponsored the child, and now is in board in Jufred Academy. She's in class 7 from class 5. Even if she is old, she is now doing something. Yeah, she's studied.
So amazing. And Anto, I'd love you to talk to those people who are going through tough times. I'm sure there's someone who is watching us na anapitia that tough time right now. He or she is in that situation enye ako in a very hostile environment. Maybe she is about to give up. Ningependa uwape hopes na pia talk to those guardians wenye huwa wanaachiwa watoto wakiwa wanawafanyia hivyo. We know children are blessings. Kuna watu wengi sana hapa nje, they want those kids, so it's very bad of you ukiachiwa mtoto, you start mistreating them.
What I would want to say.
Yeah, face the camera.
Okay. What I would want to say to one, you have told me to people who are suffering. One thing, nothing is permanent. The only capital letter I use in this life is never give up. That has been me. Patient, honesty, never give up. Above all, me, let me be frank, because this is what has helped me. Trusting in Jesus, trusting in God, or the faith that you are in. The faith you are in, and you know that faith is helping you. Trust it and do according to the norms of that. Me, I'm a Christian. I will have to start with the norms of a Christian. You see, because me, I won't say anything. It's never give up, working hard, discipline, honesty. Those are the things, and trusting in God completely. Because let me tell you, the other thing like those stress, you can't do it without God. We could even be hearing about me going to alcoholism like my brother, or drugs like my brother, but I never went to any of it. I secondly, two, people are given responsibility of children. I will start with let me go to a bit wider periphery. Periphery is a bit wider. People who are around, to anyone you hear, perhaps there is a problem in the family. For example, an orphan, alcoholic parent, or people who are in a psychological problem. Have a point of asking, have a point of wanting to know, how does a child of my neighbor doing? I think that is what exactly you see even the case of depression, that commit even suicide, people are committing suicide.
In short, we check on each other.
Yeah, talking on each other, and no want to know that mostly that child, what is happening. And in your smallest way, for example, me, I say, in my smallest way, do what pains you most. And that is my parting shot. That, for example, whoever is watching me, maybe the best gifts whoever was watching me can give me is just subscribing to my YouTube channel. Why? Or liking my Facebook page, or coming to my email perezbedo@gmail.com. Why? Or calling me if someone want to call me. Why? Coming we join hard, so that if a part there is a case, like I was telling you, there was a case that was forwarded to me, but I was so nimefungwa because I have nothing I can do. I have no money. Someone, a boy, they have 3 disabled children. Their father is disabled, and the guy is in university the first year. And now even they are going outside for the year toilet. They can't have it because they don't have those Latin they can sat on. That is something small that people can do if they join hard. And doing what pains you most. Me going for that kibarua ya Uber, and then go taking my money to that. If you go to get right now, they are out about. If you ask them, Anthony Nani, they will tell you he always bring food for us. You see? Doing that thing, the purpose of living is giving.
Guys, that's so interesting. It has been a tough session. And I thank God until you're here right now, you can inspire someone with your story. And guys, especially this time, unajua hii period tuko ni time hard sana. It's good to always check on each other. Even us, wenye tuko already grown, of course, maybe unaweza kunaona Eve ako sawa, but maybe she's going through something. Let's try checking on each other. Ask someone once in a while, text them, uliza unaendeleaje, how is the going, how are you feeling, how is your family? It's good to check on each other. And guys, kindly, I'll pin the link down below. You subscribe to Anto's channel, and in case maybe you have a way you can help him ama the cases zenye analeta hapo nje, feel free to reach us out. You can always get me on my Instagram at Mungai_Eve. Guys, continue subscribing to my channel. We meet next time.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
We are proud. In a way, you are my mentor. Yeah.
Wow.
I have looked your video from the first time you posted. And miraculously, through helping someone, gave me your contact.
Wow, that's so interesting. And of course, another coincidence, we all come from Muranga, you know. Guys, we meet next time.
Bye-bye.